Okay, so welcome back for another budget video. If you are interested in how much it actually costs to live in Portugal, central rural Portugal in particular, which is where we are in the Castelo Branco, Penamacor region, then you are in the correct place. We've already uploaded a video about how much we spend in our first month after moving to Portugal. And well, this is going to be a video about how much we spent during our second month of living in Portugal. So we're going to go through living expenses, how much we spent on food, how much we spent on various other bits and pieces, non-standard expenses and so on, and just to give you an idea of how much living actually costs and whether it's what you were expecting, whether it's less or whether it's a little bit more. Okay, so where should we start?
Do we want to start with how much it cost us on what we would consider to be an average month to survive?
Okay, yeah.
So all of our, what I would consider to be our regular outgoings, so that would be fuel, car insurances, bike insurances, tax and all that, bearing in mind that the insurances are still based in the UK as we haven't got residency here yet, and all of our shopping. So overall, a bit of flexibility due to the exchange rate, but overall for a month our regular spend was €1,166.
And that includes basically all regular living expenses.
Living expenses, yeah.
Also worth bearing in mind, if you're not familiar with the channel, that includes car insurance for one car.
One car.
And 2 motorbike insurances.
Yeah.
And on fuel, again, 2 motorbikes. When we go out at the weekend, we don't really use the car too much other than when we have to go for a weekly shop.
Yeah.
So yeah, we don't. How much did we spend on fuel? Do you know?
Yeah. So our fuel on our motorbikes, we filled up twice. So about nearly €60 we used on fuel on our motorbikes for the month.
Okay.
But we went quite far. We went all the way to Sabagal, which was Sabagal.
Yeah, for
which
the
was
medieval festival.
2.5 hours away or something, so that was quite far.
If you want to have a look at the medieval festival, go and check out the Spirit of Owlaria. Joe's uploaded a video from that, so you can get a feel for what these festivals, for these festas in Portugal look like. In terms of food, how much do we spend on food? Now, keeping in mind that although we do have a farm, we don't grow any food yet. So this is basically all the food that we would need in a month.
Yeah, so our shopping bills are still coming in a little bit more expensive than what we would probably spend back in the UK, to be honest.
Well, no, probably not. Well,
I don't know, you did the shopping.
Yeah, but it's more than what we were hoping.
It is more than what we were hoping. To be fair, it was what we budgeted, but it was still more than what we were hoping.
Yeah.
So our shopping bills are coming in at, if we can get it under €100, it's a good day. Generally, it's a good week, yeah.
Yeah, under €100 on a weekly shop.
Yeah. Generally, we're spending between about 95 and 130
euros
per week on shopping.
So that's for the 2 of us.
That's for 2 of us, and the cat.
And the cat.
And the tortoise.
And the tortoise. The tortoise doesn't cost that much because it's just
about €2.50 a week.
Yeah, the cat is a bit more expensive.
I think about €6 or €7 a week, so it's not.
Is it?
If you average it out. Though we've had some special offers on the cat food, so
we're stocked up a
little bit. So of course that adds to the bill, but it means when we skin later on, we don't have to buy it.
Yeah. So what else is there from the regular weekly shop? Well, the weekly shops. Have you got the figures for the individual weekly shops?
Well, we did go into town and we bought a few things.
So, okay. But how much did we spend on food in total?
Well, you're asking me now. I can't do that sum quickly. 127. 94, 107 and 97. So
I'll do the adding up on the screen.
It's about £400, about 400 euros.
So also keeping in mind that that does not include any rent.
No.
It does not include a mortgage because we own this place outright.
Yeah.
So obviously if you had to pay rent, if you had a mortgage somewhere, then you would need to add that on. This is
the bare minimum,
this
really.
is just a bare minimum.
We have our internet is still currently costing us €35 a month.
Yeah, we did have some nice comments from some of you with suggestions of cheaper alternatives for internet in particular. Somebody was really nice and left us a comment on the last budget video. We are definitely going to be looking into those cheaper alternatives. For the time being, we're going to stick to Vodafone, maybe for another month or so, purely because of how much data we're getting through with uploading videos. We have 4 YouTube channels in total. And 3 of those, we upload a video every week. And the 4th one sporadically, once every 2 weeks or so. So we're getting through a lot of data. Now, mobile broadband isn't, I would say it's not as prominent, not as well established in Portugal as it is somewhere like the UK, where they are actively advertising it as a replacement for your domestic broadband connection. Over here, I'm not sure providers will be particularly happy, many of them anyway, with the amount of data we upload, considering we need an unlimited plan basically. And with Vodafone, they haven't really been a pain with us just yet, despite the stupid amount of data that we upload and download. You may have noticed behind Jo, there's a new computer, so she's now uploading regularly to her Spirit of Owlaria YouTube channel. She's producing a video every week. So it's not just the videos that you guys are seeing on this channel. There are 2 other channels that we upload to every week, and it's just adding up. So one thing I don't want to do is get in a situation where we go with a cheaper plan with a smaller provider, and then when they realize how much data we're actually getting through, they're going to say, no, you're cut off. Because that'd be no good to us. I'd rather pay a little bit extra and just have that peace of mind for the time being. At some point in the future, we may well end up with a cheaper plan for the farm or something as well. So we've got 2, one main one and one backup, we were thinking. And there are other reasons like CCTV cameras need Wi-Fi connection and so on. So we probably will end up trialing a cheaper plan at some point, but for the time being, the Vodafone plan is more expensive, especially on pay-as-you-go without contract, but we're going to stick with it just for now. We're definitely not going to be on it for many more months, that's for sure. So moving on from the internet, electricity.
So our electricity was still cheap for last month because it was for the month before.
So we're uploading this at the beginning of May, so the bill was for March.
Yes,
How
I believe
much was
so.
it? How much?
1880.
1880?
Yeah.
Not 82?
No, that's the bill we had for April.
Oh, so that's not going to come out until this month?
That's going to come out in May.
Right, okay, yeah. So, yeah, the electricity is a little bit more behind, charged a little bit more behind than what we were anticipating. So we still haven't, I think this bill does include a little bit of electricity that we used when we first arrived at the beginning of March. But it's in our budget for May, so next month's budget that we're going to publish next month, that you'll have the electricity bill included in that. So as you said, this month we paid 1880, so just below 19 euros, but that included, that's mainly standing charge and hardly any energy used within that. Next month, spoiler, is going to be just over, I think, 80 euros, and that's for the first full month when we were actually here, and we were using the heater regularly.
Yeah, pretty much all night.
So just to give you a heads up on what that's going to be. So that's going to raise our monthly cost of living, if you like. So we're going to have to look for savings elsewhere to try to bring the overall spend on regular living expenses to 1,000 euros or less, because that's what we're aiming for, really.
So we filled up the car with fuel.
Yeah.
That was nearly 80 euros.
Full tank of diesel, yeah, but to be fair, we try to use the car once per week as much as we can. We have had to take the car out a little bit more in April, but on the whole, it's mainly just once a week that we take it out. So a tank of diesel lasts us just over a month.
We ate out.
So how much did we spend?
We spent nearly 40 euros eating out. And that was, I think, quite dear for what we had. It was a Chinese buffet. And I don't think well, okay, you get everything, desserts as well, but it wasn't particularly fancy, was it?
No, it's, if you're familiar, there's a large Chinese buffet. I think it's called the Industrial Zone in Castelo Branco. I don't know what it's called. I'll put the details on the screen. It was okay. I wouldn't rush to go back there. If you're familiar with like a good quality Chinese buffet from the UK, for example, it's not quite up there, but it's a Chinese buffet nonetheless, and there were some nice things there. So, you know, every now and then it's worth going. It's just not worth rushing back to. So is that 40 odd euros just for the Chinese buffet?
Chinese buffet and drinks.
And we also spent some money at the Festa.
No, because I spent cash at the Festa.
Yeah, so with the cash we sort of budget it a little bit differently in the fact that we budget it for when we take the money out of the cash machine as opposed to when we spend it.
No, we did need some medication, so I went to the pharmacy and that was quite expensive. I needed ibuprofen, and I think I paid nearly 10 euros for, I don't know, a single pack of 400 milligram ibuprofen, which I thought was quite expensive. Back in the UK, you can get 16 ibuprofen for like 32 pence.
Ibuprofen's a lot cheaper in the UK.
It is, but here the pharmacies work different. In the UK, you can go in the supermarket and you can pick it off the shelf and pay for it with your shopping. That's not the case here in Portugal. You have to speak to a pharmacist. Even in the supermarket, they've got a little locked cabinet section and you have to ask the pharmacist for ibuprofen. I have bought it here in the past and I think it was still quite expensive from there, but to be honest, I didn't even quibble. I just was, give me the ibuprofen, I just need it now.
However, we did ask my parents to bring us some from the UK.
Yes, we're getting a shipment from the UK.
So that we've got a stash. So if you're coming over, if you know somebody who's coming over and you use ibuprofen.
Or you know somebody in Portugal, bring them some ibuprofen or paracetamol, they'll be very grateful.
Right, moving on.
Yeah, I think...
Is that mostly?
That's most of it. I mean, obviously, we did eat in McDonald's too. That was coming back from Sabugal.
Yeah.
That was 13 euros. Oh, and our water bill was 10 euros.
10 euros?
10 euros for water.
And we don't, like water, we just use however much we need. We don't really try to save water in any way.
Well, we are restricted, and I'm sure David will show you, by that little boiler on the wall there, which really does cut my showers to be quite short these days.
I don't know how many litres that is, but it's...
Not enough for a long shower.
It's not going to be more than 20 litres, if that. So yeah, we've got some non-standard spends. So our non-standard spends were quite expensive. So what have you included in the non-standards?
So we spent non-standard €641. That's quite a lot. So in here we needed a spare gas bottle. We didn't have a spare gas bottle.
Which was handy that we bought it, because last night when we came back from shopping, excuse me, and your lasagna was in the oven, it ran out of gas.
It did run out of gas, so I had to send David down to the farm to get our spare gas bottle to switch it out. So that, all in all, it was cheaper than what we thought. The gas bottle was €15
Okay.
and the refill was €35.
Okay.
So
Keeping in mind, for the two of us, we cook every day. That hob is used at least twice a day, I would say, on average. And the gas bottle that was there was left to us by the previous owners. It definitely wasn't full, and it lasted all of March, all of April, and about 2 or 3 weeks prior.
yeah,
So essentially, the best part of 3 months of actual
potentially
proper
half a gas
cooking
bottle.
from less than a full gas bottle. So by that, we should be getting through 4 gas bottles a year at the very most. And now we have 2 gas bottles. We're not going to have to pay for the bottles themselves. It's just going to be the refills that we're going to be paying. So again, that'll be a little bit cheaper next time.
Yeah. So we needed some motorbike maintenance things, like
It was engine oil.
you
needed some
chain cleaning.
chain
stuff and
cleaner,
chain lube,
and you needed some new levers.
I bent my clutch lever, falling off 3 times.
But to be fair, we were off-road.
We were off-road, it was out of my comfort zone. So all of those things added up to about, what have I got here? So that's 100 and about €200 just for bike maintenance.
Yes.
So these are the things
But
that...
again, they're not going to be monthly.
No.
It's like engine oil, that's going to be annual. Engine oil for the motorbikes was, I can't remember exactly, but it was probably about 60% of, it was basically, online it was 60% of what I would pay in the shop. One, it's actually difficult to find motorbike engine oil over here. I found it quite difficult. We did find a place. We went to the Honda dealership in Castelo Branco, and they wanted about €80 for 4 litres. We went to Auchan, I think it was Auchan in Castelo Branco.
No.
They sell 1 litre bottles, and they are €20 per litre. So again, works out at about €80 for 4 litres. And I think we came across something non-branded at somewhere else as well.
There's that shop called Rhodey, which is a little bit like Halfords in the UK. That was where we got our chain cleaning stuff from.
Yeah, but I don't think
I don't think you saw anything there.
But I don't think it's more car oriented as opposed to motorbike. So I don't remember them having motorbike oil, motorbike engine oil. So yeah, I ended up getting it from Amazon Spain. It got delivered within a week.
Few days.
And yeah, it was about 60% of the price that we would have paid anywhere in the shop over here. So just a tip for you, do that. And delivery was free.
Yeah. I've got random bits from Amazon. I don't know what they were. Random bits, I don't know what we ordered. But probably IT equipment and bits and pieces. That was €42 we spent on Amazon.
Yeah.
So that's that. David needed a suit. We have a wedding to go to at the end of May. And David doesn't have a suit, and unfortunately...
Well, I've got 2 or 3.
He's got a couple in the UK. And unfortunately, when David's parents
When they're coming
are coming over, is the same weekend that we're going over to Spain for the wedding.
So they can't bring it.
So they can bring it, you just won't have it in time for the wedding.
Yeah,
so we had to buy a new suit, so that was €125.
Just a cheap H&M suit.
Cheap H&M suit.
It looks alright.
But you'll go there looking smart, so that's the main thing. What else do I have?
if you are interested in, well, let's just run through the other basics, like the bank.
The bank was €8 something, €8.32.
I think we've already mentioned water, electricity, we've mentioned gas and fuel, how much we spent on food. So I think we've covered all the main ones. If you have a question about any specific spending in terms of what you might, I don't know, spend in the UK, how much we spend over here, then drop us a comment and we'll let you know, we'll get back to you.
Yeah. So some other non-standards, we needed a Hoover, and again we do have one in the UK. But
it's just too bulky.
It's just too big and just not necessary for these tiled floors, so we bought one of those little handheld jobbies.
Yeah, one of those battery-powered ones.
Yeah.
The house in the UK had had a few carpets, and the one in the bedroom was very thick, and we have long hair, so we needed a good, powerful Hoover in the UK. Over here, it's all tiles throughout. There'd be absolutely no point having a chunky corded Hoover, so yeah, that's why we bought that.
Yeah.
If you are interested in what our house in the UK looked like, make sure to have a look at the video. There is a tour of that house on this channel, so you can be nosy and have a look at where we lived back in the UK.
The other thing we bought were plastic boxes. We don't currently have a wardrobe, so
yeah, not what most people would consider a wardrobe.
Not like what we had before. Again, if you look at the UK house that we had a whole spare room, box room granted, but a whole room for a wardrobe, and here
it's a lot more limited.
So I bought 2 great big boxes so that I can get all of my things out of the suitcase and just sort it out a little bit.
Yeah.
I was having a nervous breakdown because I can't find any of my clothes. So those were €60, so they were quite expensive, I guess.
But again, it's not something you're going to be buying every month, it's a one-off spend.
David's already mentioned the new computer. That was quite expensive. That was something that we hadn't really accounted for.
No. But again, it's going to last us years.
Yeah. And
it's sort of an investment. That's the way I see it anyway.
Yeah, so that was quite a lot of money.
And that's not included in anything we've mentioned.
No.
But again, computers are, very personal. If you just need it for Outlook, if you just need it to check your email, you can get a laptop for probably €300-400.
Yeah, I've used that laptop now for 10 years and it's still going strong.
Laptop's on top of the computer, by the way.
Laptop's on top of the computer. But because I bought an Insta360 for my channel, the laptop could not handle it at all. So I was having to use David's computer, and
it just created a bottleneck. With 4 YouTube channels, it's not possible to edit on a single computer. So we just had to bite the bullet and buy a new
did it while we still have some money.
Yeah, but the Insta360, if you're familiar with tech and videography and actual, the files are 8K footage because it's 2 4K cameras glued together. It needed something a bit more powerful. Anyway, my computer, I think I built that about at least 6 years ago, and it's still going strong. So I expect yours to again go for at least 6-7 years as well, if not longer. Mine's still going to last me for a few more years at least.
We bought some items for our secret project. Can't tell you what they are, but we bought a couple of items for that secret project which cost us €450.
Is that included any of the budgets sort of figures that you've mentioned so far?
No.
Okay.
That's another additional.
Yeah. So again, as with any kind of spending for any couple, household, I suppose, you will have spending that is essential for food, utilities, somewhere for you to live, but then you will have spending on other things that are for side projects when you go on a holiday, whether you want to remodel the living room or something. It's just, there are other additional expenses always there. and you're struggling with the tablet, aren't you? Do you need me to do it?
No.
There you go, and now drive. There you go, yes, and now just tap into that. Because you've gone into...
I don't know what I've done.
I don't know.
Oh, I can see.
There you go.
Fixed it by myself, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, if you didn't break it in the first place.
I don't know what I pressed.
But yeah, so yeah, in our case, most of the site projects, or projects in general that we're going to be doing, have got their own budget from when we were budgeting for the move. So for example, another thing we ordered this month, well at the end of April, was about 95% of our electrical system for the farm. That actually went a bit over budget, not massively, but a little bit over budget. We're not going to mention the specifics on that in this video. In a few weeks' time, we'll be, when all the parts arrive, we'll be building, well, starting to build anyway, that electrical system. So when we go over that, we'll mention the cost of various things then and how much we spent so far at that point. But again, that's infrastructure, that's not living expenses. And again, with a solar system or electrical system, you can, you know, some people can get away with like a £500 or euro power bank, and you know, you can spec up an electrical system going into tens of thousands of euros depending on what it is that you want and so on. So again, it's very dependent on your personal needs and personal budget. Ours is obviously spec to what our budget was and what our needs are going to be, and we'll be going over that in a future video. Is there anything else that we need to mention on the budget side of things?
Not really. I bought myself a comfortable chair, which the cat is sitting on a lot of the time.
So the cat, you bought the cat a chair?
I bought the cat a chair, basically.
Yeah.
She does share it with me occasionally. But before, we were both sitting on camp chairs, and then we built, you saw us build the office chair.
Brought over from the UK.
Brought over from the UK. And whilst this is more comfortable than that, I needed something to relax in, so we had to spend a bit of money and get something more comfortable. So we only have one of those, but yeah, Kat claimed it.
She has.
And then that came out of a different budget again, so.
And we haven't ordered any firewood for the coming winter yet.
No, we haven't yet, but I think we're hoping that we can.
At some point we'll have to, but first we need somewhere to put it.
To put it, yeah. It's no good
ordering. At the moment we
it.
haven't got it yet, so
yeah.
It may be a little bit, we may be regretting not having it when it comes to winter, but hopefully we can order it early enough so they can dry over the scorching summer here well enough. But you know, we'll do what we can, but at the moment, we've got other things which we need to be prioritizing. Today we're stuck indoors, which is why we're recording this in here as opposed to on the lovely farm, because we're waiting on deliveries, and that's one of the downsides of having things delivered as opposed to going out to the shop and just picking it up off the shelf, that you don't know what time it's going to arrive, and the stuff that we've got to do on the farm ideally require both of us there at the same time, so we're just using the time to edit videos. So one of them, I think, is just finishing rendering on my computer behind me. You're working on yours, so that's why we're recording the budget for April here
at home.
So I think, does that sum up our budget for?
That sums up our spending for April.
Second month living in Portugal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you have, one thing to look out for in next month's budget is in May we've got to pay our property tax.
Okay.
We went to Finanças, to the finance department in Castelo Branco last week or so, wanting to pay it, and they said no, you've got to come back in May. So when we do the video for May at the beginning of June, then that's going to have one, full electricity bill for the back end of winter, and is going to have our tax bill, which is essentially council tax for the farm and the house which we're in now. So yeah, something for you guys to look out for. We have a vague idea of how much the council tax thing will be, but we don't know exactly, so we're going to hold off saying anything on that until we actually have the exact figure. And yeah, that will be next week's budget, next month's budget, shall I say. So is that everything?
That's everything.
Right, so we're gonna leave it at that for the April budget. If you have any questions about living costs in Portugal, Central Portugal, where we are in particular, if there are any expenses that you feel that we should mention that we haven't, leave us a comment and we'll either get back to you direct in the comments or in a video in the future. And that'll be it. So from the two of us, the snoring cat over there and the chirping birds outside, we'll see you on Monday for a regular video again. Bye for now.